I'm joined today by top UK welterweight Jake Bostwick. Jake, I'm going to kick things off by asking how you're feeling ahead of your fight this weekend and how your camp's been for this fight.
Feeling great, can't complain, everything's great, weight's good, everything's perfect, spot on really. Obviously with the change in opponent as well, obviously made the weight obviously a lot easier. My welterweight opponent dropped out, which meant I had to fight obviously in the middle. I feel really ready to smash it.
Talk us through your camp for this fight. You were originally scheduled to fight back in March on the Cage Warriors show that got cancelled. Have you basically been in fight camp since the start of this year?
I literally started back in camp sort of at the beginning of the year, from end of December into January. Been pretty non-stop to be honest, been really full on. I went really heavy over Christmas and stuff. I had a bit of time out and kind of let myself go. It was nice, but obviously, I'm back in shape now, and I've been at it for a little while now, mate, pretty non-stop. So I'm ready.
As you mentioned before, you were due to fight Dwayne Hines, but an injury's forced him out of the fight. You're now facing a vet in Patrick Vallee. Talk us through the change of opponents and the difference in styles it's made for you.
With Dwayne Hines, I think he would have been happy to trade me a little bit more than I believe Patrick will. It's a difficult one. To be honest, I think the Patrick Vallee fight is a little bit more difficult. Only in the aspect of, I think he's been with some tough guys and, he knows the ins and the outs, whereas I don't think Dwayne has. I think it's still going to be a great fight. I'm not doubting myself at all. I'm ready to absolutely, go in there 100% and get the victory, I think with being Patrick now, the game plan's pretty much the same. I want to keep things always on my feet. That's just how I want to fight. Will he try and take me down? Probably. Will he try and stand with me? Hopefully. Just got to go with the flow. You can't really take game plans into every fight you go into. You've got to just kind of go with it. So, it'll be an interesting fight for me, I think.
And last year, you were sitting there against a top grappler and submission guy in Simeon Forreston. Yep. So do you think that the time that you spent in the cage and the 15 minutes there at Cage Warriors is what you're going to be falling back to potentially for this fight?
Yeah, I believe it's going to be a bit like a Simeon fight. Maybe if he feels some power shots, he might try and shoot in. A bit kind of like his fight against Paul Daly. That's kind of how I see it panning out. With a knockout, would be great as also, he's a tough guy and I've got to be ready for all aspects, and I am. I'm prepared for everything, and, I was ready for it for Dwayne, same way I was for Simeon. So, that was a year ago that I fought Simeon Forreston, so the fact that, everything, my whole game has improved since then, I'm definitely ready for it.
As you mentioned before there, Vallee's been in with some of the best guys in Europe, Paul Daly, Jack Mason, just to name a couple that he's fought over the past couple of years. And he's got a decent name. Would you say a win over him is better value for you than a win over Hines?
A win over Patrick is definitely better for me. Obviously, the only bad thing about the fight is that he's on a free losing streak, but he's lost to some good guys and had good fights. It's not like he's an idiot and he's just fought bums, Yeah. The losses do him no justice. He's a very, very good fighter, very, very good level. Whereas Dwayne, he beat some bums, really, really, fights that shouldn't even have happened, but he had beaten them. So the win over Patrick would definitely be better for my profile than it would be over Dwayne. Definitely, yeah.
And you mentioned there about his record recently. I'd say it's similar to yours. The losses that you've got on your record have been against some of the best guys that are out there, and it's almost, in my opinion, I'd rather see fighters have those losses than fight cans and go out with 10, 12 fight win streaks, but they've not actually fought anybody.
100% totally agree with that. I couldn't, you literally said what I'm thinking, what everyone else is thinking, what most people think anyway, but yeah, at the end of the day, he hasn't fought cans, he's fought some good guys. So yeah, this, and he's very confident in fighting me, which makes him, a very worthy opponent. So it's going to be a really interesting matchup between us both.
You're now fighting at middleweight. With him coming in last minute, does this take the pressure off you having to make weight after last year missing weight really badly ahead of Cage Warriors 70?
Obviously, after missing weight last time, I had to make sure I was on for this obviously this fight. I had to, make sure I had my head screwed on, and I did. My weight was pretty well. 2 weeks out, I was pretty light, ready to make 77, no problem. And obviously, when I got the heads up on it and to fight at middleweight, I was a bit disappointed because of how much effort and work and that I put in to get my weight back down. But at the same time, it was obviously a big relief because it's an extra 7 kilos. I don't think I'll worry about cutting. So in the same aspect, I'm going to go into this fight stronger theoretically than I would be if I was going in at welterweight. So yeah, at the end of the day, it's what it is. Obviously, I'm going to make weight, no problem. I'm not even worried at all about it. But yeah, it's good to actually fight again and not have to kill myself making weight,
And the last time we saw you fight at middleweight was February last year, I believe, at Cage Warriors in Kentish Town. And you went on to put a fight of the night performance in my eyes there. Are we going to expect to see the same again on this weekend?
Well, yeah, at the end of the day, I'm in a lot better shape than I was then. I was pretty chubby and out of shape and, cut like 6-7 kilos, just to make weight, and there was no need. I was just pretty chubby, whereas now I'm in good shape. I've got a good frame, I've got good muscle on me, and, I'm not super lean, but obviously my body fat is a lot lower than it was, and I'm in great shape, so you're definitely going to see a good performance from myself, yeah.
And what is your current contract situation with Cage Warriors? Is the fight with Warrior Fight Series part of your one fight exemption?
A lot of people thought I was signed to Cage Warriors, which I'm not. I'm contracted to Intensity Fighter Management, and obviously Brian Boylan had his hands in Cage Warriors, is why I fought for Cage Warriors. So I'm actually under management, but I'm signed to nothing. I'm only signed to the management, so I can fight willy-nilly, to be honest. If anyone comes to me, it normally goes to Ian Dean or Brian Boylan, and they come to me with opponents or shows or whatever. So I've had a few offers here and there, so this is something that popped up, and it was a good opportunity for me to be on a local card again. So that's why my management took it.
And have you heard any more about Cage Warriors? Do you expect that they'd be back and you could potentially be fighting for them again this year?
I haven't heard nothing else, no. I can't say what I believe. At the end of the day, is what it is. What's happened, happens. Whether the investment don't want to bother anymore, whether they got their fingers in other pies, I don't know. But genuinely, to what I believe, I don't think that is going to happen again. It'd be great if they do, because obviously I'd love to fight for them again. But I doubt it. Personally, in my eyes, I don't see it happening. If they backed out and they're not really interested, then they're not going to be interested. Why are they going to invest money again and do another show or whatever? So I literally know as much as anybody else, and that's not a lot. So I don't know.
And this weekend, you're fighting on a relatively new promotion in Warrior Fight Series. What are your first impressions of the show and working with these guys, and how much of an impact do you think the show could make on the UK MMA scene?
Well, I know Harry personally as a friend. So when I went to his first show, it went pretty smoothly. His second show was a lot better, and obviously this is going to be the third event. And the fact that it's at a proper venue rather than like a sports hall, it's actually York Hall, and it's a renowned boxing venue. So it's interesting the history it's got behind it, and what's going to the fact that the fight's going to be in there is great, and I think that's going to just make it such a better event anyway. And I believe that it will do well. At the end of the day, Harry puts a lot of work and effort into his fighters and into the organisation himself, and I think that he puts so much into it that he's going to reap the benefits. It's still an early show for him, show number 3, but it's still going to keep going. I'm sure there's other people going to start trying to invest maybe, or get in touch with him or whatever, and I'm sure that eventually down the line, hopefully it will be something bigger. So all the best to him, really, mate. He puts the work in, so I think it's going to be good for the UK MMA, definitely.
As you mentioned there, you beat me to it. My next question was going to be that it goes down at Warrior Fight Series 3, goes down at York Hall this weekend.
Yep.
As a fighter, tell us what it's like to be fighting at the world famous York Hall. Obviously, it's famous for its boxing.
Yeah, I think at the end of the day, mate, you know, for me now, my eyes, you know, a fight's a fight. I just want to kind of get in there, get a fight, win, you know, be happy. But the fact that I'm in, you know, a recognised show, like a venue, sorry, I think it's going to be really fun. I think that the layout, I've heard how the layout's going to be and stuff, and I think it's going to be really awesome, mate. I think it's going to be good. So, yeah, I'm really excited about it.
And finally, one last thing. What would you say is next for you with a win this weekend?
You know, I couldn't say, mate. At the end of the day, if I win, or when I win, it would be my 10th consecutive win. You know, I don't know, mate. I couldn't even tell you. I hope to try and move on to bigger shows, you know, around the world maybe. But, you know, I'm going to go to my management and let them do the chasing kind of thing, or see who comes to them about anything about me. Just kind of go with the flow, mate. You know, I literally take one step at a time. I'm still 25. You know, I'm doing well. Can't really complain, mate. So there's no rush, to be honest. So yeah, just want to go in there, get the win, and you know, relax a little bit, and then see what's next.
Brilliant. Well, thank you very much for your time, and all the best ahead of the fight at the weekend.
Thank you very much, sir. Take it easy.
Cheers. Bye.